I am commanding you that you are not going to touch none of us.
Step out of the vehicle.
I'm the Alpha Omega. I will have to bill you $250,000 for 15 minutes. Okay. Do you want to continue? Don't touch me!
Okay guys, today we head to California for a traffic stop where a sovereign citizen couple get pulled over for no registration plates and make some pretty outrageous claims and threats to prevent California Highway Patrol officers from enforcing the law. Like claiming to be private attorney generals, we've heard that one before, the Alpha and the Omega, which is a new one for me, and threatening to charge officers millions of dollars for using their names because they're copyright protected. And when all those tactics fail, well, the driver just decides to resist arrest. Right, let's get into the video.
I do. I think it's in here. Let's see.
What's your name and badge number?
I'm Officer Thomas with the California Highway Patrol. It's ID 19714.
Okay, can I see your credentials also?
My credentials?
Yes.
Absolutely, they're right here.
Your license and everything else?
My license?
Yes.
No, I'll show you my work ID though.
Yeah, we need your bond number also.
No.
You're required to by...
So I'm employed by the state of California as a police officer.
Leonard Thomas?
That's my post officer ID.
But they're a lot different than Virginia's.
Yep.
This is California.
Okay.
Just want to make sure.
Yep.
So the reason why I'm stopping you is because of number one, you got the no plates on the vehicle, and number two.
That's why we put something on it, because we wanted to make sure you were aware of it. Because I am a federal whistleblower, and that's my primary obligation is to make sure that everything, all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted, and everybody's properly
Private
informed.
Attorney Generals.
Oh, I see, you're a private attorney general. In the same way that Anthony Williams, the guy who is now doing 20 years in federal prison, was an attorney general. Or more recently, One Stop, you know, the guy who got arrested for impersonating a law enforcement officer. Well, at least you're in good company.
So, do you have a driver's license with you?
I do, but I don't need to show it to you because I'm not driving.
I'm not asking you.
I'm not have to show you. I'm not obligated to show you.
The driver in the driver's seat.
I'm not
He's not
obligated to show you. I'm not driving.
Even traveling in the state of California, you're required to have a valid license.
You are. Could I see that authority, please?
Yeah, it's under the California Constitution.
Okay.
So you can look that up on your phone. It's actually in the California.
Well, other motorists, travelers, it's under UCC 9-109.
Travelers, even in the state of California, require.
Yeah, we have a fee schedule. Verbal contract is $3,000.
Look, man,
I just want to just make sure that you are okay with your offers because we have a fee schedule.
I know what I'm allowed to do in the state of California. And number one is I'm able to stop motorists and motor vehicles when they don't have proper identification on it. The other thing is in the California's Constitution, it actually states in there that you're required to have.
Are you sworn under the Constitution?
I'm sworn under the United States Constitution, and I represent the California Constitution as well.
Good. Because we are private. And I am not obligated to show you anything of the sort. No laws broken. There's no crime committed. We have paperwork. We showed you. But I don't have to show you any credentials assigned by the state that are copyleft, copyright, and trademarked.
Okay.
The lengths that these people will go to get out of paying for registration is astonishing. And they use the legal system, you know, the system they say they aren't a part of or doesn't apply to them to do it. But this cop knows all this, so ignores it and just carries on doing his job.
Again, one of the things here in the state of California is that you're required to identify when you're even stopped for a traffic infraction.
Well, I have no name. I work for no man. I'm not for hire. My handle is Aviso. Notice they call me Avi. You can call me Avi. But I don't have to show you any credentials.
Who is S310?
Well, you keep telling yourself that little story, because if it's between California state law and a guy who claims to be a private attorney general, then I'm going to go with the law on this one.
Can he respond Main Street at Diamond and Red Bluff, please?
Yes, and you can also let Dave know we're here too.
Yeah,
Dave Hincard is the sheriff locally.
Yes,
he's aware
also.
Of who we are. We made notice when we got here that we would be doing some investigative work.
I'm going 4. I'm out with 2. You clear 4 of him.
I just love how these guys invoke the local sheriff like no other law enforcement has authority. That usually changes fast when the sheriff refuses to go along with their delusions. It's a thing of beauty to watch. So by all means, abuse 911 by calling the sheriff.
Living is 5 Tom, David, Zebra, Adam, 23 Charles, 55 Sam, 3 0 0 238.
I guess Luigi's is pretty popular on Sunday nights, huh?
The pizza place? They make pretty good food. That is something they do.
I told him I was craving some Italian food. We haven't had anything locally other than the burrito bandito.
So how long have you been working for this company?
Is their pizza.
Really?
Yeah. Who's your commander?
My commander here currently is Scott Pointer at the commercial scale.
Okay.
Yeah, our lieutenant recently got promoted to captain. He's now up in Red Bluff.
Sweet.
Very well.
So in the meantime, I'm just going to get my supervisor here for the time being.
Please do. Yeah. We have committed no crime. Nothing. We weren't speeding, anything else. We showed you paperwork that the car is fine. We just purchased it, but I don't have to show you any credentials that are copyrighted. And I'm sorry. I'm trying to save you $1 million per use. Because every million used is 30 million could return through the IRS banking.
You see, I knew the guy from Florida was selling himself too cheap by asking for just $500 to give his name and $100 to spread his feet. You've got to think big when it comes to this stuff. You've got to think in the millions, not hundreds. I mean, you've got no chance of ever collecting a penny of it because you can't copyright your name. But if you're going to throw around fake numbers, then they may as well be big numbers.
No, I completely understand what you're going for.
I just want to save you the funds because there's a lot of credentials
there's a lot of
over codes being sold to us.
There's some differences that you're talking about that are not necessarily recognized in the state of California.
Right. Okay. Well, we're aware that state of California has some issues.
And outside the 8-mile district of Columbia.
But like I said, the one thing that is required.
His mom used to be a deputy sheriff. We're aware where your pension funds all ended up. So, yeah.
We know the banking end of it, too. So it's like everything assigned is 30 million returned copyright.
Fair enough.
So I'm saving you that.
That's fine. Well, like I said, that's what we're going to wait for my supervisor to get here.
Sure.
And we'll go from there.
Sure.
Because like I said, I know what you're required to do, what you're supposed to do, and what is going to possibly happen.
Yes, we're waiting on tags and stuff like that. It's already been done deal, but we're just protecting our rights and our travel till then.
First of all, this waiting for tag story doesn't make any sense because they claim later on in the video that the car is new from a dealership. Well, if that is the case, then they would have been issued with a temporary tag. The supervisor actually calls them out on this later on in the video. And secondly, you're not protecting any of your rights by driving around without registration plates because the state of California, like every other state, has the right to enact and enforce vehicle registration laws under the 10th Amendment of the Constitution, which sovereign citizens conveniently ignore when citing the Constitution. Anyway, backup has arrived, but before we get to that, we have these pearls of wisdom.
So that's who was thinking about robbing us, huh? Well, Mr. Thomas accepted the fee schedule.
Yes, he did.
And I haven't been served a process of the California Constitution yet, so...
So let me get this straight. In your alternate reality, every police officer is required by law to carry around a copy of the state constitution and serve it to the driver automatically. And if that's not crazy enough for a fee schedule to have the force of law, in this alternate reality, all you have to do to agree to $1 million fee schedule is this. And these guys have the nerve to call police officers and government officials tyrants.
It's okay. He'll run the VIN number. He'll see that we've already ordered it. He'll see all our T's are crossed, all our I's are dotted.
That's right.
We are who we say we are. And everything's going to be fine. They're going to see we're not the droids they seek.
We are not the droids you seek.
Yeah, no, sorry, but your Jedi mind tricks only work on the weak-minded. And here's the Jedi Master in the form of a California Highway Patrol Supervisor to prove it. Eventually.
Right there on
on your left. He was going to talk to you.
Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Hello. How are you, Mr. Burns?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Excellent. You guys all right?
Yeah, we just came
good.
from dinner.
We came into town to try out this Luigi's dinner. We just went over here to the park to eat because you're not allowed to eat in the restaurant.
All right.
So, and we hit Walmart. We probably wasted way too much money there.
Okay. So, how come you're not providing your driver's license or identification, sir?
Because we're private.
We're private. I didn't do any breaking laws. He pulled us over because there's no plates. I am not obligated to show anybody anything.
That's not
It's
true.
copyright, copyleft, trademark, and I'm asking you questions. You have your credentials. What's your name and badge number?
Sergeant Paul Burns, ID 16355.
Thank you.
There's no crime committed? There's no crime committed? Was there any crime committed?
Driving without license plates on your vehicle is against the law, correct?
Well, we have paperwork we provided, and it's legit. Are we free to go?
Nope, you're not.
What crime has been committed?
What
Who's
crime
named
has
your
been
party?
committed?
You were driving a vehicle down the road.
I don't drive.
And how did you render
private.
that legal conclusion?
I wasn't here.
What?
I'm just telling you
So
what I'm
you're,
saying.
well, hearsay of driving. Does it say taxi? Are we a taxi service? We're not a taxi service.
don't
We're
know,
not
sir.
commercial. We're
I
private.
don't know what you do.
That's right. You don't.
Nope.
You don't
Nope,
want
we're
to know.
private individuals.
Why don't we want to know? Oh, because your passenger is a supposed whistleblower of some kind, and you're both so-called private attorney generals who think they're above the law? No, dude. Nobody cares about who you are or what you do.
Individuals, just like your family and your home.
Correct.
This is our private household good, and it has been properly registered with
Where's the license plate?
They haven't arrived yet.
You haven't arrived.
Okay, well,
Yeah, we just got a new mailbox key
how long
here.
would you buy it?
It was purchased on August 14th, 2020, I believe, under our
16th.
corporate-
But they gave you a temporary. Where's
August
that?
16th.
No, we did not get a temporary tag.
The dealer has to give you one when you leave the
They
dealer.
did
The
not give us a
paper
temporary
taped
tag.
on the back window,
I don't know.
and I don't know what else to say. That's
He taped it on the back window. We haven't touched it since he gave it to us.
it's whoever taped it on the back window still there.
So the dealership stuck a not for hire sticker on the back of your vehicle instead of issuing you with a temporary tag. Yeah, I smell bullshit, and so does the supervisor.
We didn't break any laws. Didn't speed. Any crimes? Did we commit any crime? No.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, so they get that since January 1st, they give you like a printout. I'm sure you may have seen them on other cars. It's a bigger one with similar letters as a license plate. That's what they're supposed to give you until your new ones arrive. So
Well, that's why we marked our
That's probably why
auto
we didn't have
private, because we're not for hire.
So it was you and not the dealership who stuck the not for hire sticker on the back. What a surprise.
Right.
hire has nothing to do with it.
Well, that's what you have a
Regardless,
license for.
it's a federal. It's a federal.
In California, whether you agree with it or not, the law says
Yeah.
that
Well,
you're going
your
to
offer is not accepted. So
Do you,
if
do you want to
you
listen, or are you going to keep talking over us?
Oh, wow.
We have no
Nasty
problems
public servant.
explaining.
Okay. Anyways,
We can
Sergeant
explain, I
Burns,
just don't want
correct?
to talk over you.
Yes. Okay, so when you purchased the vehicle as of it was either started in October but became enforceable in January, they were supposed to put a temporary license plate, that just a paper one with the numbers, like a temporary number. Did they not give you that?
No.
we're private for now, because until we get our paperwork, we didn't get anything like that.
You keep saying you're
or-
private, but it doesn't.
Right, that's
exclude
correct.
The laws of California from.
Well, the laws of California are different from our province. So
You're in California, sir.
yeah, you're on Alvarado province also. So we're private.
Okay.
Verbal contracts 3,000, give or take a minute out of the hour. It's 250,000 for 15 minutes, keeping us here
Okay.
on our fee schedule. Your name and badge number will be billed.
Yeah, that's not how any of that works at all. Both parties need to agree for a verbal contract to be binding. So a cop humouring you by saying that's fine and fair enough to your absurd fee schedule is not a verbal agreement. But then again, you think driving is a commercial term only, so I don't expect you to grasp it. So you can throw these big numbers around all day long. All you're really doing is wasting oxygen and taxpayers' money by keeping these officers tied up here. Speaking of which, shouldn't these guys be in handcuffs already?
Did we commit any crime?
You're driving your vehicle with...
I am not
That's a
driving.
legal conclusion. The definition of
It's
the
a
word driving in the
legal
English
conclusion.
language, which is the official language for the state of California, is different than the legal word, the legal definition.
We're
of the
law
word.
enforcement. We're not English teachers.
Well, actually, a jury is law enforced.
Jury's law.
But you are
that's
public
judicial.
office. Well,
That's
yeah.
judicial.
Do you have a
You are
license
public
to practice
servants.
law?
We appreciate that. We do.
Did you see any crimes committed?
I wasn't here.
Good. Then you didn't see anything.
But I can see that there's no plate on the back of your truck.
Right.
First of all, the definition of the word driver is whatever the state of California defines it as, not some random dictionary you decided to choose because that definition suits you. And secondly, you've got a nerve asking this cop if he has a license to practice law when you're the one calling yourself a private attorney general. And finally, like this officer has just pointed out, he can see with his own eyes that you don't have a license plate, so you haven't got a leg to stand on, mate.
Right, and
Well,
as we
it's a
have
private
explained,
household
we haven't
consumer
received
product.
it yet. So
It comes with
what
the
would
fee
you
schedule.
Like us to do?
Well, all right. What I would like you to do is provide your driver's license or identification so that we can proceed with the contact and you can go on your
I'm
way.
not giving you credentials to sign. It's copyrighted. To save you $1 million for use, I'm not going to give it to you.
I offered to Mr.
well,
Thomas if he'd like
if
to call
you
the
don't-
I have a
local
handle.
sheriff
If you don't
and swear who we are, why we're
on a
here.
traffic stop, you will have to be arrested.
If you take me to jail, it will be $1 million per hour on your bill. Your name and badge number. Your bond number, please.
I don't have a bond.
You have to have a bond number.
You have to have a bond.
I have a badge number, not a bond.
Well, who insures you for your errors and omissions when you make a mistake?
The state of California.
The state of California.
I don't give you consent to even
I'm not
touch
asking
this
for-
car or any of
I'm not
us.
asking
We're
for-
private household consumer goods.
Okay.
And it comes with a fee
Which
schedule.
is federal.
It's federal. Okay?
And the place to make that argument is in a court, not at the side of the road, or in this case, a parking lot. I mean, you will be laughed out of the courtroom because you cannot pick and choose which laws you want to follow, regardless of how much word salad you throw around.
Right, but the federal
Outside the
government
8
doesn't
mile
supersede into
square
state
district of
rights.
Columbia, you have no authority.
Okay.
Okay? So,
I hear
is there a
what
crime
you're-
committed?
I hear what you're saying.
Is there a crime
I don't
committed?
agree with anything you're saying, but that's okay.
I don't agree
The
with what
great
you're
thing about
saying.
this country, you're allowed
I
to have your own
understand
opinion.
what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay? I'm the Alpha Omega. I am who I am, for I am. A live man. I don't do business with no other corporations. I have not for hire. I have no name. I work for no man.
Okay.
I'm the Alpha Omega. In perpetuity. Witness.
Of course you are, buddy. Now slip into this straitjacket and follow me into this padded room until we can get you a psychiatric evaluation. I mean, I knew soft sits were delusional, but referring to yourself as Jesus, basically, is a bit weird on a traffic stop, I must say.
Well, by failing to identify yourself also, you are committing...
If you are going to create a law, you better have a law license to create
I
that.
didn't create it.
Well, I don't agree with you, so we
So
commit no
man to
crime, man to man.
Man to man.
You're not going to kidnap any of us.
It won't be kidnapped.
It's not going to be at all. You're not going to touch any of us here. I'm going to have to call your supervisor. You get your supervisor out here.
I am the supervisor.
You get your supervisor, your commander.
No,
I order
No?
you to get your commander.
I don't follow that order.
Then I would like to call the sheriff
no
on a
commander.
911
Call the
call
sheriff.
right now because this sounds like
We're
it's
gonna have
not
to call the
going
sheriff
the way
on
that
you.
it needs to be going.
No,
'Cause you're
And you think misuse of 911 on top of charges for driving without plates and refusing to identify will remedy that. Again, this stop could have ended in a simple warning or at the very least a ticket for no plates, but Mr. and Mrs. Alpha and Omega, in combination with their industrial strength stupidity, are determined to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Because you're failing to provide a federal case number 00101.
Identification or not?
Federal case number 00101. You have to
Under
provide
threat?
your
Under
credentials.
threat,
Under threat, duress, and
you're
coercion.
armed, we're unarmed,
You're armed, you're
peaceful
unarmed.
inhabitants.
So remember that he said he wasn't armed because that doesn't seem to be the case when they eventually go in for the arrest.
And
Peaceful
you're
inhabitants.
threatening our holy temple.
Is that a no?
Therefore, I am calling
You
911
are calling the sheriff
because I feel my
to verify
life is
your
being
credentials.
threatened
Okay.
for
You
You
no
failed to
reason.
failed
Is that a no?
a federal case
Is that a
number
no? Are you
00101.
saying yes or no?
I am saying nothing to you.
Okay.
I am commanding you
Step out of the vehicle.
that you are not going to touch none of us.
Step out of the vehicle.
You are not going to. No, we're a private
Yes,
community.
my life is being
We're being threatened
I'm
by
in
a
the
state
CVS
patrol.
Pharmacy.
Nope.
parking
I
lot,
refuse to do
private
so.
parking lot.
I
red
demand
bluff,
you to show me your credentials and call your
my
commander.
private vehicle,
Okay.
my temple
I've-
is
Federal
being
case number
threatened, surrounded by a
00101.
bunch of armed,
You failing to provide
uniformed
your bond
public
number and your
servants, some
insurance.
of which have failed to identify.
I asked you for that.
Some of which are
You are
practicing law
provided
without
to
a
do so.
license.
All right.
All of them are
I
armed.
ordered you to.
They are threatening
You work
to
for me.
remove us from
I don't
our
work for you.
vehicle where we have committed no crime.
That's right. No crime is
All of our
committed.
legal
I work for you.
documentation
You asked
has
for
been provided.
credentials,
I need
but you don't-
Sheriff
You got, you're
David
escalating the situation by
Pencraft
creating
over here
laws.
right
I
now,
don't recognize the state of
You're
California.
creating
How do I work
no, you're creating a bullshit situation by creating your own laws
Okay.
by asking people to do so. Slavery is illegal and unlawful. I will have to bill you $250,000 per 15 minutes. Do you want to continue?
Oh yes, let's definitely continue with this, because listening to a couple so ignorant and out of touch with reality that they can quite easily and without irony compare registration plate laws to slavery, all while the passenger calls 911 on the police, is comedy gold. So yes, please continue.
I will do my job.
It will be 1 million per frame, 30 frames per count, digital count per
do my
second,
job.
video camera subpoenaed for
Okay.
federal court.
We will do our job.
Your name and badge number
I gave it to
will be
you.
law and liability for any damages to this auto or us. We do not give you consent to touch this vehicle or us.
We understand
We
that
do
you're
not
doing
serve
consent.
private
We do not serve
corporations.
private corporations.
We've never been served a copy of
You work
the
for us?
California Constitution. We don't live
You may be
under
go-
the
you may be
California
dismissed.
Constitution.
Here's what's going to
You're free to go. We did not commit no crime.
Thank you. I didn't ask for your permission for nothing.
Well, I'm giving you an
Are
order.
you going to step out of the vehicle?
Call your
voluntarily?
commander. Call your
Are you going
commander.
to come out of the vehicle
Call your
voluntarily?
commander.
Are you going to come out of the vehicle voluntarily?
You need to call your commander.
Are you coming out of the vehicle
Or wait for the
voluntarily?
sheriff to
Call
arrive
your
to show
commander.
credentials.
You're committing a crime.
You're committing a federal crime.
Sergeant Burns, you're committing a crime.
16355.
16355. Help!
Are you
Help!
going to step out of the vehicle on your own?
A man is attempting to kidnap us in our private consumer
You're gonna
goods.
Step out of the vehicle on your own.
We're at the
Yes.
pharmacy CVS.
Do what they're telling you.
No, they're committing a crime.
They're
I do
committing a
not
federal
disobey
crime.
my
Are you
public
going to step out of
servants
the
when
vehicle
they're
on your own?
committing a crime.
Okay.
Okay, you're
It's
committing a
time
crime
for you
by
to step
misusing
out of the vehicle,
911.
sir.
I'm not misusing.
We're not misusing
They have
911.
guns, They have
Yes,
tasers. I'm not committing the crime here. You need to contact
You
the
are
sheriff.
wrong. You will step out of the vehicle. We
I'm
will
not going to
yank you
contact
out.
the sheriff because
If you harm me in any way, in any
Is
fashion,
this
you're going to be law liability.
retaliation for the federal lawsuit
100
against your
million
police
law
department for
liability.
the murder of
I don't give you
Diane
consent to
Estes
touch us.
Steele?
I
No.
didn't ask for consent.
We didn't ask
Is
for
this
any of this.
retaliation?
Don't, get,
Is this
don't,
retaliation?
get off me. Don't touch me. I do not give you consent to touch me.
He's got a knife on his right side.
Do not give you consent to touch me. Do not touch me. Don't touch me.
Just letting
No.
sir.
Get off me.
Let me have.
That's a phone. That's taking my phone out of my hand. What the hell
He's got
are
a
you
knife.
doing?
He's got a knife. Watch out.
Don't give you consent to touch me.
You're fine. No, you're fine. You can stay in the car. You're fine.
I have a hand behind my back.
So he lied about not having a weapon, with one of the officers pointing out that he had a knife on his right side. What a surprise. Not that it's illegal to carry a knife, I just find it interesting that those who accuse others of dishonesty and criminal behaviour are usually the ones doing it themselves. Every accusation is an admission of guilt with soft sits. Anyway, the remainder of the video is just audio where CHP discussed towing the vehicle, but then the passenger hands over her driver's licence. The video ends soon after that. Anyway, if you managed to get through to the end of this video, then I thank you and I salute you. I truly do, because this was a tough one to sit through with all that repetition. But that arrest at the end more than made up for it, I think. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave me a like, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you also to my channel members and patrons for your continued support. I really do appreciate it. Right, take care all, and I will catch up with you in the next video.